Welcome to PACTV Community News. I'm Brian Sullivan.
And I'm Julie Thompson.
This week on PCN, we meet up with this year's recipients of the Speak for Thyself Awards in Duxbury.
We learn more about the local company Flexo Concepts, and we head to Grays Beach for the planting phase of their coastal restoration project.
We meet some of the latest graduates of Plymouth's Citizen Police Academy, and we get some history on Pembroke's Old Home Days Fair.
We also have Josh Warren on set to talk about Kingston's Waterfront Festival coming up in August. But we start tonight's show at the Waterfront in downtown Plymouth. Anyone passing by Pilgrim Memorial Park in downtown Plymouth has noticed the area is undergoing a major facelift. The Department of Conservation and Recreation had a groundbreaking ceremony for the multi-million-dollar project just days before the earth movers came in and tore up the ground. We spoke with the DCR's commissioner to find out what's in store.
This morning we're celebrating the groundbreaking of the renovations to Pilgrim Memorial Park. This is a $2 million investment by the Baker-Polito administration in freshening up this park and getting it ready for the 2020 celebrations. This park, which we call the South Park, is really the most loved piece of grass here. Obviously it's in front of the amphitheater where all the concerts and other celebrations occur. So the grass here has been pretty much well loved. So it needs a refresh. We're putting a new base down and a new grass established so that it'll have better drainage, it'll have irrigation, so we'll be able to keep the grass looking good all year long. The residents of Plymouth have undergone the improvements to Water Street, which is a great partnership we have with the town of Plymouth. And now the next phase really is to work on this park itself. So the parking areas will be improved, will be repaved, and that's really going to begin starting tomorrow, and that'll run through November. So there will be some disruption to the park this year, but we'll get it ready for 2019 and of course 2020. This winter is when we'll do the renovations to the bathrooms, and that'll happen over the winter when the bathrooms are typically closed. So they'll be all ready to go in spring of 19. This grass area will be fenced off for the next few months, but we're trying to work with the various events that typically are here to try to move them around to places where they can continue to go on. DCR is the stewards of nearly 500,000 acres of land across the Commonwealth, and people think about our beaches, they think about our forests, they think about our parks, but they don't really understand that DCR is also the steward of our cultural resources. And just in this place we've got some of our most important cultural resources between the rock, the statues, the sarcophagus at the top of the hill. We're also making accessibility improvements to the Pilgrim Mother monument. There's a big step there now that if you have mobility issues, you couldn't really get in there to enjoy that. That's all going to be changed because the Baker-Polito administration is really committed to making our parks and our recreational facilities accessible to people of all abilities.
1, 2, 3, yay!
The Alden Kindred of America recently held their annual Speak for Thyself Awards at the Duxbury Bay Maritime School. In honor of Priscilla Alden's trailblazing spirit, this award is now in its 12th year and recognizes women from a variety of backgrounds. This year they're honoring Nancy Capistran, Renee McInnes, Carolyn Ravenscroft, and Elsie Trask Wheeler. PCN stopped in to talk more about these inspiring women.
This night is about Priscilla Alden's Speak for Thyself, and it's about women who are working in the community, providing services to the community, and also women who are active in services that they're passionate about.
This is the 12th time that we've celebrated this night. It's called the Speak for Thyself Awards, and we give awards to women who have spoken for themselves and on the behalf of others.
So there are 4 of us being honored tonight, 4 adult women and 1 high school student. We all have done things within our careers that have given back to the community.
We have a committee and people can nominate, and we have nominations come from all sources. Lots of times people that have their award themselves will recognize someone else that has the kind of traits we're looking for, and it's an evening that people leave feeling that they've met somebody that's really made a difference while they're here.
It's just a great honor. I am happy to be here this evening with friends and family to receive this award.
It started about 12 years ago, And we wanted to do something to honor Priscilla Alden, because everybody talks about the Pilgrims. They talk about John Alden, always the men. And Priscilla raised 10 children in a little 10 by 38 foot house right here in Duxbury in 1627 to 37. And that's extraordinary. And she had to be a very strong-willed and persevering person. She was responsible for the education of her children, as well as raising them and carrying on and farming and gardening and making clothes and making cloth, all those things she did. And we wanted to honor her resiliency, and we do it through this award called Speak for Thyself, because there's a story that goes down in the history of the Aldens, wherein John Alden was sent by his boss, Miles Standish, to go and bid for the hand of the young Priscilla Mullen. Well, what really happened is John goes through this whole ask on behalf of Miles, and at the end she turns to him and said, "Speak for yourself, John." And because of that, I'm here. I'm their 8th great-grandchild, 8 greats. So it's a pretty unique experience, and it's one that we want to keep alive and keep the spirit of the people that started this country alive.
Flexo Concepts has had their offices here in Plymouth since 2002 and in the industrial park in North Plymouth since 2010. They manufacture plastic doctor blades used mostly in the printing and packaging market. It's a unique item, and they're a pretty unique company. We dropped in to meet their president and their CEO to find out what helps them stand out.
We manufacture a polymer-based scraper blade that's used in printing applications. The primary use of our product is for companies that produce printed food packaging. And our product aids in the control of ink and coating transfer on these industrial machinery, pieces of equipment.
We've been fortunate. We won 2 awards this year. The first one was the SBA Small Business Exporter of the Year for Massachusetts, which is a very prestigious award. Exports account for over 40% of the business that we do here. And more recently, we won the Presidential E-Award for Excellence in Exports. And that's a federal award that was started by John F. Kennedy in 1962. And Greg Howell, my partner, and I were both down in Washington, D.C., receiving the award from the Secretary of Commerce.
The nature of our product is it's a niche product, and because of that, you can't go and buy equipment to produce what we produce. So if you were to look at our manufacturing facility, you'd see a lot of equipment that we have designed and built ourselves, or in some cases, designed in conjunction with equipment building partners to our specific needs and requirements. Kevin and I both kind of entered our career at a different time in terms of what work cultures and corporate environments were like, and we've witnessed a lot of changes in that area during our careers, and we've tried to keep up with the needs and requirements of the workforce that's been available to us over the years. So as a result of that, we've done a lot of things to maintain kind of a progressive attitude in terms of the work environment we create for the people that we bring into it.
Everybody talks about how important employees are, and we try to live that. So it really starts on an employee's first day. We have a celebration on an employee's first day. Many companies will celebrate and have a party when somebody leaves the company. We turn that around, and we actually celebrate on your first day. We buy lunch for the entire company, and we welcome you when you arrive. Another unique thing that we do is after 10 years of employment, we actually provide a 4-week paid sabbatical for the employee so they can go and get refreshed and do something new and unique. And we've probably had at least 5 employees go through that so far. And we've got some that are coming up on their 20th anniversary, and they'll again get 4 weeks paid sabbatical here at Flexo Concepts.
One of the things we try to do here is not look like the image that a lot of people have of what a manufacturing company is like. If you were to walk through our space, you'd see contemporary furniture, you'd see bright colors, you'd see a well-lit manufacturing environment. There's always music playing in the workplace through a Sonos system we have. I think if you were to meet the people here and get to know them, you'd realize that the group is a very special group.
Now, this was one of your story ideas. What was it about these guys that kind of stood out to you and said, why don't we cover them?
Well, Kevin's on the chamber in Plymouth with me, and I met him through there. And when he told me about the company that I was like, what? There's a company that makes blades for printing? Like, who knew? And it's right here in Plymouth. So I went over just to visit his facility, and I was just amazed at how unique the workspace is and how they truly value their employees, and they've won all these awards, and it's a really cool thing to just highlight sometimes local companies that really seem to be doing it right.
Yeah, and I noticed nobody took me out for lunch on my first day when I got hired here.
Sorry, Brian.
Grays Beach is the town of Kingston's only public beach. The town recently received an almost $500,000 coastal resiliency grant to restore the area to a living coastline while also making appropriate changes for sea level rise. PCN stopped in on a planting day to see how the project is going.
Overall, the project I think will be a great improvement for this particular piece of property. It is going to provide a little bit more of a beach area because the location is as called Grays Beach Park, so it's a beach area with a park as well, but it will provide more opportunities for people along the beach. There will be a boardwalk, there will be some more ADA access, and there will also be an entertainment stage that we're including in this project, a site improvement, which will allow for opportunities of music or maybe musical theater entertainment, movie nights, things like that. So the Grays Beach Restoration Project started probably about 4 years ago. We started having some problems with the failed revetment wall, and since then we've been trying to secure funds and enough opportunity to actually figure out what to do with that. And some things that came about, instead of actually repairing the revetment wall, is actually creating a living shoreline in a new salt marsh and dune area, which is a fairly new concept in this New England area. As part of this project of the failed revetment wall, we needed to remove the revetment wall, and in doing so, the living shoreline is being created. So the concession stand was not able to stay in its current location because of the living shoreline being built up in that area. So it is the intent to actually move that building back up a little bit for northern slope and to rebuild it in a different location. So this project is actually a collaborative project, which is great. You can see it here from our particular slide here, a collaborative project between all different departments within the town, and then two very important organizations here, the Land Water Conservation Fund. We received a grant from this particular organization of $300,000, and then the Coastal Zone Management, we received a grant from them of $487,000. So without both of those organizations and those granting sources, we would not have been able to complete this project. So we greatly appreciate all of their help. They're a great partner with us in making this project happen as well. Then another one that we're working with is our engineer on record is Horsley Witten. They're phenomenal in this capacity, very resourceful, very knowledgeable, and are a great asset to this particular program as well. So we'd like to thank them for being a part of this project. The Silver Lake Regional High School has a horticultural program, and we had invited them to participate in part of the planting portion of this program. As we're doing that, we're hoping that they'll be arriving shortly today, and they'll be involved in the planting, and then maybe somewhere down the line they'll be involved in some of our management of that particular area, and just to have them be more involved. It's great to get, again, more partnerships and collaborative opportunities within our community. So we just are very excited to have them be a part of this.
The Plymouth Police Department recently held a graduation party for everyone who took part in this year's 9-week-long Citizens Police Academy. The program started over 20 years ago, and this recent class is the first the department has conducted in 3 years. All 18 citizen officers were on hand for their certificates, and we spoke with Sergeant Mark Manfredi to find out what the program entailed.
So tonight is the Citizens Police Academy graduation for the Plymouth Police Department. And it is the culmination of 10 weeks of instruction that we've had over the course of the academy. We had 18 people in the class, and they were from a wide variety of people in the town. It was a 9-week academy. Each week we had instruction in different topics involving what goes on in the police department, how the police department works, The first night was an introduction. They had a tour of the station. They met the command staff. They learned, the makeup of the department and the history of the department. Another week was patrol operations, where we talked about how to be a police officer, how you become a police officer, what training is involved once you become a police officer, different aspects, the hierarchy of the department, and specialty units. And they heard from various officers that are in the specialty units and of what they do and what their jobs are.
When it was all said and done, it gave me a greater appreciation for the breadth of what the police do, the danger associated with their job, the things like the canine demonstration, so we actually saw the dogs do what they do.
We're the police officers' eyes and ears in the community. They can't be everywhere all the time. So if we see an incident that's going on, we have to report it so they can attend to it. And it's really important to give your information when they ask for it, because if you don't give your information, it takes the power away from the police to make a case.
We've got excellent feedback. We actually have citizen surveys that we do for each class, and they'll do like evaluations or surveys based on each class. So they give us feedback on what they liked, what they didn't like, what they thought we could do different, and it's very, very positive. The feedback that we've received from them is very positive. Everybody seemed to really enjoy it, and most people wished it went longer.
The Old Home Days Fair on the lawn of the First Church in Pembroke's Town Center has a long and varied history. PCN stopped in with Grant Baxter, the fair's organizer, to hear more about how this annual tradition got started and what it means to the community.
I try to promote the fair, try to outreach to the community, make certain people are aware what we're trying to accomplish, both for the fair, but also for the church and the mission of the church, trying to help people that are less fortunate. And this is one of the ways, by raising funds, we can do that. I was fortunate enough, a couple of years ago, I wrote a story on the 300th anniversary of Pembroke. Actually, it's 6 years ago now. 1712 is when Pembroke was incorporated. And I went back and dug into the archives, whatever I could find about this fair, and I was able to track back to 1871, different type of fair, and then it was discontinued for a while. But it was a fair. It was where they got together and did things. And back in the day, before there was a true separation of church and state, you had to have an organized church community in order to be incorporated. It shows you how far things have changed. So in 1712, Pembroke became a town, and First Church was part of it, and continues to be part of it. As regards to the fair, the folks here in 1951, I believe, it started the fair, so that it's been ongoing since then. It's morphed over time. But the thing I love about it, when I was doing my homework on that story, was the fact that it really is to the community. And it happened this fair already, where I've heard people reconnect, people that hadn't seen people since high school, or grandparents showing off their grandkids to their friends, and all the typical things you'd expect in a New England small town in a fair. So it brings the community together. It's a chance for them to really enjoy themselves. We have the kids from the Pembroke School of Performing Arts coming in, a dance troupe, 25 strong. They danced last year and went over really well, and we're glad to have them back again this year, so that's exciting. The event is such that there's always something going on. If you need or want to do something, there's something you can turn to have fun with. I would say, as far as the thing that heartens me the most about the event, is that it's every year able to be pulled off, that there is enough people and enough of a commitment to come together to make it happen, that there's enough interest in the town that they come and be part of it. The way I like it, I like to listen to the people talk and see them enjoy themselves.
We are pleased to welcome on set today Josh Warren, who is two things. He is a newest member of the Kingston Board of Selectmen. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
And he's also involved with the Kingston Business Association because you are on the planning committee of the Kingston Waterfront Festival.
Correct.
And the Waterfront Festival is something that's now going to be in its third year?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so why don't you tell me a little bit about how it started, where it's going to be, what I can expect for the day.
Sure,
Hit
sure. This year's Waterfront Festival is going to be on Saturday, August 11th, from 11:30 a.m. to 7 o'clock p.m.
Okay.
And it's just this wonderful day of fun. It's a great opportunity for families to come out, for community members to come out, take advantage of the beautiful Grays Beach Park, which is undergoing a restoration.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about the actual venue.
Sure, sure. So Grays Beach Park is an incredible and I think underutilized resource in the town of Kingston.
Yep.
It's situated right on Kingston Bay. There's basketball courts, tennis courts, there's a playground,
Yep.
And there's this beautiful grassy patch that rolls right down to the sand.
Yep.
If you go there now or today, you might see a lot of construction equipment because they're undergoing a big restoration,
Yep.
Which will be completed well before August 11th.
Yay.
So we're really excited to have that new venue, or that old venue
Yep.
with sort of a new
With rebirth.
Rebirth,
Yeah.
correct. So it's a wonderful day. We have a number of local vendors who are coming out, local businesses in Kingston who will be coming out to do different activities. So Thurston Academy was there last year.
The martial arts.
Yes, yes. So they'll be doing different demonstrations with their students.
Yeah.
That's always entertaining. And then
Yes.
we're also going to have Big Ryan, who...
We've done a story on him.
Oh,
He's a
awesome.
fabulous storyteller.
Great. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's-
the kids love him.
Yeah. So we're looking. I have a 3-year-old, so I can't wait for Saul to sit down for a
Sure.
show from Big Ryan.
Sure.
And then for some of the older, I guess,
More
festival
seasoned
goers. Yes.
festival goers.
We're going to have a mobile beer garden that's selling local craft beers, and we're going to situate that near a food truck from Alden Park. So you'll be able to get your sandwich or your your lobster roll,
Yep.
and then enjoy a cold craft beer.
Right. Now, so you have activities for people all ages.
Yes, all ages.
Now-
And our hope really is there's something for everyone. So the Kingston Yacht Club is going to come back this year, and their regatta is going to coincide with the Waterfront Festival. One of the things that I'm really excited about is they're going to be sailing the Bac Le Jeu, which you may know about.
What is the Bac
So
Le Jeu?
the Bac Le Jeu is a 100-year-old catboat that was restored using CPA funds, so Community Preservation Act funds.
Yeah.
And I believe the Jones River Village Historical Society sort of spearheaded that project.
Yeah.
So if you're a sailor or if you just enjoy watching sailboat racing, you can.
That'll be right. You can watch
right
it during
out.
that
So
day.
You can be going down the largest inflatable slide in New England, which we've also booked, while watching a piece of Kingston's history sail past the shoreline.
Wow.
So it's really going to be a fantastic day. Kingston is just steeped in shipbuilding history.
Yeah.
So again, something for everybody. If you're into history, we have that. If you are into something a little bit more active, we've got the largest inflatable slide in New England coming for the event. And then in addition to the slide, we have some other new additions. We have the High Hopes Band, which is the region's top reggae band performing. They're going to headline, which will be really exciting. And then we also have Tom Taylor from Rocky Neck Oyster Farm donating oysters to the event. So we're actually going to sell that. And those proceeds will go to benefit an organization that we're partnering with, and that is the Silver Lake High School Music Department.
Right. Who are fabulous.
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 Great
Yep.
students, great
Yep.
staff. I just met with them last week. And then the really big addition this year, we're in the planning stages now, so we don't have all of the details.
Yeah.
But we're working with the Kingston Police Department and a local race management company to produce a 5K road race that will actually happen before that 11:30 a.m. start. And our hope is that we can get an entire 5K on the Nook.
Yeah.
Runners will start and finish in Grays Beach Park.
Yeah.
And all of the proceeds from that event will actually benefit the Silver Lake Music Department as well. So those students will be volunteering at the road race, volunteering at the festival,
and performing.
and performing.
Which is
Thank
wonderful.
you. Yeah.
So you can see where all the money that you're raising for this is going to go towards them.
And they're already talking about
programs.
putting together a ukulele band. They have an a cappella group that may perform. They have a jazz band. So it'll be sort of smaller student ensembles.
Yep.
I was really concerned when we reached out to them that it was summer. It would be really hard to get students to organize.
Yeah.
And I had one planning meeting with them, and it was like,
They're all
they
over
took it, they ran with it.
They're all over it, yeah.
And they're really exciting. It'll also count towards community service hours.
Right,
so
right.
it's a win-win.
Win-win for everybody, right.
So
and then at night,
At night, we're going to do a movie. So
which you did last year.
Correct.
Which
yeah,
was very
so
successful.
there's a large inflatable screen that we'll bring out, and we'll project a movie on it. We still haven't decided on that, but I guess if anybody has suggestions, send them to us on Facebook, to the Kingston Business Association Facebook page, and we'll certainly take that into consideration.
That is wonderful. And this being the third year, you've learned from what you've done the past few years.
Yes.
You're trying a bunch of new stuff this year.
Yep.
It's a full day. Again, it's going to be on Saturday, August 11th. Officially starts 11:30 to 7.
Correct.
But the road race, once you get it all organized, it'll be obviously before that.
Yes. Our hope is to have runners on and off the road. Awards ceremony will be all done right when we open at 11:30. And when we open at 11:30, we'll have all of our vendors ready. So I know PACTV will be on hand. They've always been, you've always been a great supporter of the event. And then we also have let me see, what's the name of it? And this is perfect for anybody who's running. So we have Eclipse Massage Therapy coming this year.
Ooh.
And they have a mobile massage unit. So if you go and
after you run,
you can, hang out
all
for a
your
little
pain.
bit. Yeah, you can accept your awards on the podium,
Yeah.
and then you can go for a deep tissue massage
There you go.
from one of the vendors.
Yeah.
And we're actually still looking for vendors. So if anybody, makes crafts and has wares that they'd like to sell at the event, we will be, still looking for vendors probably for the next couple of weeks.
And is this mostly families that come, do you find?
So we I'm sure we'll see a number of families come earlier in the day for the Thurston Academy, for the slide. For the slide. I mean, I think I'm as excited about the slide as any of the kids. For Big Ryan, of course. But then I think as the day goes on and we get High Hopes Band up on stage, you may see the crowd sort of get a little bit older, and also with the craft beer garden.
And then at night, maybe the families come back for the kids to see the movie.
So you can go home, take a nap, come back, and enjoy a movie on the big screen. I also want to make sure, we could not pull this off without our sponsors, and the list is way too long to thank everybody, but our platinum level sponsor this year is Sullivan Brothers, Toyota, and Nissan. They've been huge supporters in the past. And then our gold level sponsor is Marty's Buick GMC, who's also just been a wonderful, wonderful partner.
They're great partners.
We're so excited to have them on board again.
Excellent. Wow, I'm excited now.
I can't wait.
I can't tell you don't like this.
as a selectman, as a planning committee member, as a parent, as a resident, I'm so grateful that the KBA is putting on this event for the third year. And I really think this is the type of community event that brings neighbors out, brings friends out. You're going to meet new neighbors. You're going to meet new friends. It's going to be fantastic.
It's wonderful. Keep it local. Keep it happy. Keep us together. And have fun. A safe, fun, wonderful environment.
And I can't think of a better way to showcase the restored Grays Beach Park.
Yeah, right.
That's really going to be
right.
A
that is your
fantastic-
stage.
Correct.
That is your stage.
And
for
they
this wonderful performance.
And I believe there'll be a stage as part of the park, so we don't have to rent one.
Yay! It's a win-win.
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Josh. This has been wonderful.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Great. And thank you for watching. If you want to see the show again, you can check out our website, and PCN is also on YouTube. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook to get up-to-date info. We'll see you next week with a brand new PCN. Stay tuned because the season finale of PCN Life is up next. From all of us at PACTV, have a great week.